It's Late Night New England. From the top of the Prue to the pesky pole, it's 30 minutes of wicked good TV. And we're so glad you're home. And now, here's your host, a man and a whole lot of baggage. It's Michael Pettit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Late Night New England. I'm your host, Michael Pettit. Thank you. Thank you. Another year is wrapping up. 2019. What has happened? 2019, another year. More weight, less hair, but it's so nice to see you. Welcome to the late night program. I'm your host. Technology, cameras and microphones, folks. Cameras and microphones. Be careful because they're listening. They're listening, and it's getting a little scary out there. I was thinking about a pizza yesterday, and amazing. I had a pizza today. That's the scary thing with technology. But some things never change. It's the beautiful weather that we have here in New England, right? It's always just so wonderful. And these weather people, aren't they kind of just a bit much? 5-day forecast coming up. 5 days. Let's just focus on one. You and your storm team coverage you can trust. You know, it's amazing the news these days. It's you try to filter, and there's enough bad things out there. And I don't think I've ever really understood why they put the weather and the traffic back to back. It's never good. It's never good. You've never heard the New England weather and traffic forecast. It says today it's high in the 80s and it's an open bar on the Mass Pike. No. So I'm excited about tonight's program. We have a very, very funny comedian, Mr. John Parata is here. John Parata is here, and he's Italian. And we're going to have some fun with John. But you know, Italians, I love Italians. But don't they just seem to take over everything? They've ruined everything. Respectfully. We just went through Thanksgiving. I went to an Italian's Thanksgiving. I was expecting turkey, gravy, and potatoes. The lasagna, the meatballs, the sauce. But I just sat and I ate my dinner because I didn't want to get whacked before dessert came out. Trying to cut back a little bit and make healthy choices. Talk about technology. There's now foodie apps. They have foodie apps for people who are into foodies but would like to date other foodies. So that's got to be fun with the whole profile. You know, down and doughy girl, seeks the meat and potatoes kind of guy, tired of the salad games, whisking is a must be into M&Ms. It's Late Night New England. We're just one big gravy boat. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Late Night New England. I'm your host, Michael Pettit. Just kind of had a fun moment. Producer Cody told me that I had quite the arsenal of dog hair. I'm a dog lover. Are you like me? You love your pet. You love your dog. You know, dogs don't judge. That's why I have such a special relationship with my dog, Big Murph. I try to make sure that he gets out. We all live busy lives. I try to make sure that he gets out and stays active. He's a Labrador, and you know Labradors can sometimes get a little bit little heavy. It's an English Lab. He's an English Lab. I love all dogs, but I really have a thing for the Labrador breed, and I think he's Italian because. There's fur everywhere, very hairy. He always wants to eat. And when I throw the stick to my Labrador Retriever, he's like, "Why don't you go get it? I don't think you see me getting the stick, funny boy." And that's when I look at him and I said, I don't think you understand the whole concept of retrieving. I left Big Murph on his Murphopedic before I came to the studio tonight, and he was just kind of laying back watching the Animal Planet. Go get him, funny boy. I'll be right here when you come home. I find that I talk to my dog a lot. Do you talk to your pet? I talk a lot to my dog. I feel like I'm interrogating him because it's nothing but questions. Are you a good boy? I think I am. You want to go for a walk? I kind of do. It's like he's on Jeopardy, like Dogs of Jeopardy. I'm Alex Trebark. Welcome to Dogs on Jeopardy. You're doing quite well, Big Murph. Thanks, Alex. It's the Late Night New England program. We love our dogs, and we're so glad that you could tune in.
It's Late Night New England, where normal is a setting on the dryer.
Welcome back to the program, folks. We always seem to find the best, the brightest, and the funniest. Coming to the late night stage, a very funny comedian, known this gentleman for a long, long time. He's from Cranston, Rhode Island. Please, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Italian Don Rickles, Mr. John Parata.
Hey, it's great to be here on Late Night New England with Mike Pettit. I got to tell you, I've been feeling great. Just lost 50 pounds. 50 pounds, I feel like a million times better. But I wanted to cheat on my diet the other night. So it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, the wife's sleeping. So I said, let me see what I can do. I'm not too familiar with all these apps, so I go on my computer. I go on Grindr. So I go on Grindr. All I wanted was a small tuna with provolone. 3 guys showed up in their underwear. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know Grindr was an app where you meet guys. Now I know. Being Italian, when you want a Grindr, it's usually a sub. So things have changed in 2019. But I've been, what can I tell you about myself? I'm a retired correctional officer. I retired from the state prison in Rhode Island 2018. I was a correctional officer for 36 years. Great place to work as a comic. I had a captive audience. Think about it. These guys are not going anywhere. I tell them a new joke. If they didn't laugh, I really didn't give a damn. If you can make a serial killer laugh for 10 minutes, you're having a great set. I'll tell you right now. About myself, I've been divorced twice. My first ex-wife, I met in an alcohol rehab. True story. She was coming down a hole in a Johnny, and I knew she was for me. Beautiful Italian girl. I love Italian girls. If there's one word I could use to describe my ex-wife, it would have to be hairy. I remember once her electrolysis got the flu. She grew a full beard in 2 weeks. She could have been on a box of Smith Brothers cough drops, let me tell you. She had a lot of problems. I'm a nice kid. I'm a thoughtful guy. She was a manic depressive. So for a wedding present, I gave her a mood ring. That's right. And every time when that got blue-gray, once a month, I'd run out of the house, make sure I took off. But we had a great love life. I miss those days. My ex-wife and I couldn't get along, but in the bedroom we did. You got to use your imagination. She was epileptic, and I have asthma. Now, those are 2 serious medical conditions if you got them. But if you put them together with a little bit of wine, you're going to have a real good time, I'll tell you right now. There's about 10 more minutes to that bit, but I don't want the Seekonk police coming in here. So we're going to leave that out. But we wound up divorced. We had a big bash where we got married. There was this great old nightclub in Johnston, Rhode Island called the El Morocco. And my job, I ordered a beautiful divorce cake. On the top of the cake was a bride and a groom giving each other the finger. And that was marriage number 1. Then I went to the Catholic Church. They were nice enough to give me the paperwork. I filled it out to get an annulment. We were only married 7 months. And an annulment is great because, did you ever see that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Eraser? It erases her. That's it. She's out of your life. And I put the video on now. Every once in a while, I watch her walk out of the church backwards and out and gone. She's gone. So she's totally out of my life. Then I go and meet the second ex-wife, another nice Italian girl. And I met her, true story, while standing in line at the Registry of Motor Vehicles when it was in Providence. By the time we left the building that day, she was pregnant. We were registered for Le Mans classes. Long day at the registry, but I want to tell you guys, great place. You want to have some fun, take your wife on a Tuesday morning, grab a number, go out to your van 3 or 4 hours, you come back, your hair's messed up, you get your license picture, registry sex, some of the best sex you're ever going to have in the world, registry, I'm telling you. If your relationships are shaky, go down to the registry. I highly recommend it. My second ex-wife, very different from me. She's very conservative. I'm a little bit on the wild side. Her idea of a fun time was going to New Hampshire in the fall to look at the foliage. Me and Mike Pettit, we like to go to the Foxy Lady and look at the cleavage. That's just the way it goes. I had two beautiful kids with the second ex-wife. My son, I'll never forget one night, 3 o'clock in the morning, he comes running in the bedroom. He screams at the top of his lungs, "Where's my red Tonka truck?" We jumped out of bed a mile, and naturally my ex-wife, full-blooded Italian girl, got her hair caught in the ceiling fan. Have you ever seen an ex-wife Italian girl spinning around in the ceiling fan? I panicked. I called 911. They sent the Avon lady. She had her nails done. And my daughter, when my daughter was born, that was big. Big moment. I run to the hospital from work. The only little Italian baby girl in the entire hospital nursery. She had on stretch pants and a sweatshirt that said Barry's Disco. People were coming in with hairspray, mousse, nail polish. One guy showed up with scooter pies. No diapers. No diapers. But things are going well. And I perform comedy all over New England, and it's great to be on Late Night with New England with Mike Pettit. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
John Parata, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Funny Man, John Parata. How you doing, sir?
Great, man. Great to see you.
You look great.
Just lost 50 pounds, man.
I heard.
Not easy.
My gosh, signing all those divorce papers.
When you don't cook for you anymore, Mike. So it's a problem. It's a problem.
You look, John, you look great, and they say comedy can be painful, but this is a man who has suffered, but you make people laugh.
Through the laughter, yeah? You got to make them laugh.
You make people laugh. No, John, you're from originally?
Cranston, Rhode Island.
You're from Cranston, and gosh, you have shows all over the place. Obviously, we've worked together over the years, but you're known for kind of doing the crowd work. You get into the crowd, you like to have a little fun.
I always been billed as the Italian Don Rickles.
The Italian Don Rickles, and obviously, we're well aware of it. I think it's kind of realigned itself. But the hypersensitivity with people, John, how do you deal with? Because you work in the crowd, and you just don't know what's gonna.
I'm pretty good about going up to the line, and I can tell if I see somebody get upset, I get away from them. But,
sure.
But I've been very blessed that for a long time now. I haven't had a problem. Now, one time I did a bachelor party.
Oh boy.
Did a bachelor party.
In Rhode Island?
In Rhode Island. At the time, I weighed 250. This biker guy was about 7 feet tall, humongous, decides he doesn't like my act. He gets me, picks me up in the air. I'm at the Edgewood Yacht Club in Cranston. He's going to throw me in the water. So now I can't swim. So I'm up in the air. I get the mic. I'm thinking, is this my last joke? Is this the end of my life? He puts me down. I said, thank you. I've run into this guy several times since. I just give him a little wave and I walk real fast.
Sure.
Real fast, Mike.
A little bit more than a heckler.
And I worked at a prison for 36 years. So people say to me, that must have been dangerous. I said, you know what dangerous is? Comedy. I've had more danger in comedy, honest to God.
Sure.
More people come confront me than in a prison.
Well, in stand-up, there's no bars. There's sometimes there's chicken wire, but a lot of the incidents are alcohol-induced.
Yes.
So you're working, and you enjoy what you do, which is what it's all about as artists and entertainers. And you've actually been able to mentor other young comedians.
Yeah, I've always gotten into early in the 90s, I helped Bill Burr when he was starting out. I used to pay him $25 a spot.
Sure.
And to give him stage time and guys like that through the years. And we've wound up keeping in touch, and I wound up opening for him 2 years ago, which was a thrill of my career.
Sure.
And I keep in touch with him. He's a great guy. But I help a lot of new comics, so I stay involved in the open mics. And so if people want to get into comedy, contact me, and I help them out. I like getting the new comics going,
So I always wanted to be Italian growing up, but I have to say this with full respect. The Italians have ruined every holiday, John. We just got done with Thanksgiving. Turkey, potatoes, and gravy. What did you have for Thanksgiving?
Well, I'm on a diet, but when my mother was alive, God rest her soul, the turkey would come out. I had some Navy buddies come up in the 70s. They thought it was over. Then the lasagna came out. The chicken parm came out.
Sure.
That's how it used to be for me. But
they were like, oh, my God. So pretty much halftime of the Lions game. Everybody's in a food coma. You enjoy doing what you do, and it's always great to work and watch somebody who can work a crowd and have fun. Keep it. You're a clean comedian.
Yeah, I'd say I'm in the middle, so I keep it clean most of the time. That
Sure.
way you get more work.
Yeah, you're not political. You're not trying to separate the room.
No, not at
you
all.
you just want to provide a little laughter for people, and that's what it's all about. Now, John, where can people find out about? I know you're all over the Facebook and the websites and stuff,
Yeah.
but your Comedy Factory.
My website is comedyfactoryri.com. Comedyfactoryri.com. People can go to that, see where some of the shows are going to be, and if they want to get into comedy or book a comedian or for a party, whatever, we do it all.
Sure, and you've actually haven't you taught comedy classes too?
We taught about 4 comedy classes we've done. Yeah, that went really well. Really well.
My gosh, so we're here in Seekonk producing our show, and you used to perform.
For years and years, when I started, we did shows at the Seekonk Ramada Inn.
Sure.
When the Darlings had it. We did it through the 90s
Sure.
and the early 2000s, a good 10 or 12 years. We used to get 300 people. We used to have some awesome times there. There's a lot of people in Seekonk would probably remember. A lot of fun,
Lots of fun. We like to have fun, so I'm going to throw a few words out for you, and I need you to give it to the camera, not me, in your best John Parata, a.k.a. the Italian Don Rickles of New England. You ready? What do you think? This is kind of a curveball. You ready?
Yeah.
I want you to sell it. Just be yourself. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Forget about
Forget
it.
about what? The first 2 marriages? It's tough to do that.
You take care of that thing?
Yeah, I put the envelope in the drawer. Everything's all set.
You took care of that thing?
Everything's all set.
Sauce or gravy?
Oh, that's a tough. I'll take either one. Doesn't matter to me. Just put it on some meatballs and I'll eat it. I don't care, Mike. I don't get into the argument. Just put it on and I'll eat it.
John Parata from the Comedy Factory. Check him out on Grindr. Will you come back and visit us again?
Yeah, sure, Mike.
John Parata, more Late Night New England coming up. Forget about it.
Welcome back to Late Night New England. We put the fun in dysfunction.
Welcome back to the Late Night New England program. I'm your host, Michael Pettit. You know, part of the fun being here in New England, and it's such a great thing. It's more than a hobby, it's a passion. It's the classic car industry. On any given night during the summer, you can go to a classic car show, and it's such a great thing. There's great music playing. You know, you could hear the Wolfman Jack Shamalama Ding Dong be bopping, hey baby. On a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, I myself have a 66 Mustang. It's an ice cream cruiser. It's in great shape. I'm not a gearhead. I'm not a knuckle guy. I'm not a mechanic. I'm smart enough to have some friends who can do that. And tonight on the Late Night program, we have somebody who is just so good at what he does. He's the kind of guy that I would go to. Please welcome to the Late Night program, Mr. Steve Mirabile. Steve Mirabile. How you doing, sir? Let me see those. Those are possibly...
I washed them up for tonight.
Those are possibly the cleanest thing.
That's for TV.
Nice to meet you, sir. I don't know how you do what you do, but tell us about your passion for automobiles, Steve.
I enjoy what I do immensely, and in my elder years, I started back when I was, of course, 14, 15. But in my elder years now, it's been a passion of mine to promote the classic cars, to keep that sport alive, to keep the young kids educated in that, and we do that through, car shows and stuff like that. And I have a garage, and I do a lot of work for people. This is a cruise night, and that's my 32, John Buchanan's car,
Now,
Jack
John
Lane's.
Buchanan, I've met John. Excuse me. John is the gentleman who kind of heads up the mass cruisers.
Yes, John Buchanan is probably the lifeblood, and I was going to mention that, of the Mass Cruises. Okay, he does the newsletter, he does all the photos, he's involved in MAC. He is really, really into the culture.
John Buchanan, ladies and gentlemen, up at Gillette Stadium, where those guys just kind of win Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Every other Thursday during the summer, they have a car cruise night, and I've gone up there probably 15 years ago, and it started, like most things, just from a germ of an idea.
Right.
On any given Thursday, every other week during the summer, 1,000 cars?
More. It started in the very front of the Bass Pro Shop,
Sure.
right where they had the boats.
Right
and
at
they
Bass
moved
Pro
it out.
Shop.
And now it's out in the parking lot, and they take over. Mr. Kraft has been generous enough. They take over that whole far parking lot, and they'll do anywhere from 1,000 is probably a bad night to 2,000 cars. People start lining up to get their spot at 1 o'clock in the afternoon
Sure.
for a 5 o'clock show.
Sure, I've gone up there, and there's a DJ, and it's really, it's such an appreciation is the best word I could say. You're originally from?
I'm originally from Sharon.
From Sharon.
I live on the Rehoboth-Seekonk line right now.
Sure. And we met you, we were introduced to you from Steve.
Steve Howard. Now again, Steve Howard is a classic car person, and he may not, I hope he appreciates this, but how we met, Steve and I met. I have a garage at home, very fortunate enough that I have a 45 by 75 foot garage, all air conditioned, man cave, and I never let anybody in.
Yeah.
So one day, I always kept the door open about
Is that
this
it
much.
right there?
That's my garage at home. My wife calls it the Garage Mahal, and it's not always that clean, but because we'll have several projects, there's 9 cars there right now. But Steve Howard, I left my door open about that far, and no one knows. Everybody drives up and down the street. No one knows what's in this big garage, and I keep it quiet. But he saw some hot rods. So one day, I'm in the garage, and I hear hello, and I goes, how'd he get in? And Steve Howard is crawling under my garage door that's this much open and going, hi, I'm Steve Howard. I noticed your cars. And we've become good friends ever since.
And how long ago was that?
That's got to be 12 years, almost 12 years now.
What a character.
He is a character.
We love characters. That's what it's all about.
You know, you want to be in the car culture, you're going to see all kinds of characters.
Sure, sure. Now, I notice you have all of your fingers.
All of my fingers, they've been bent a few times, cut up a few times, but, you know, you do what you got to do. My wife is very conscientious. The garage has 16 cameras, and she's watching me during the day if she's not home, make sure I'm still moving, you know.
Sure.
But, you know, we get a lot done, and we've met a lot of people. And,
Sure.
And, you know, through John Buchanan and some of the other car clubs that we go to and stuff like that, we help promote them all. You know, the Bass Pro Shops and Mass Cruises is a very big cruise, and there's people come from, you know, several states to come there.
All over New England.
All over New England.
All over New England. It's a full event, a day-long thing. People bring their lawn chairs. They have coolers. They sell
Everything.
food there. It's really kind of a I don't want to say throwback, but it is kind of a throwback. It's the 50s and 60s.
It's the 50s and 60s. We've had Chronicle come out there and film it.
Sure.
They do a lot with the food bank, you know, in the local community, and Mr. Kraft would like us to donate to the touching towns around there. So they collected canned goods to come in as a donation.
Sure.
And they promote it, you know, that way. But what's nice about it is that the several car clubs that are around this area, like I do a lot with the push rods out of Waltham and Rattlers and Cousins out of
Sounds like
Freetown.
a gang. The Rattlers.
Yeah.
This guy, he's a gang member.
Yeah. But it gives them a place to all come
Sure.
in uniform.
It's a community.
It's a community.
It's a social club.
Yep.
So how do people find out about you? Because I know you will work on someone's car too.
Yes.
You are not only a car enthusiast, but you really care. And
Most of my work is word of mouth based on I only work on high-end cars. I do stuff that other people either don't want to do or can't do. I manufacture my own parts, stuff like that.
So my 2010 Nissan Murano.
I'll send you someplace.
And where do people go to see some of your work that you do? And obviously there's a Camaro. That's just beautiful.
That's some of the cars in the garage. Those are all mine. There's me working on one of the high boys. That was mine. That car's moved on. I got the yellow 32 now mostly. I drive.
Beautiful.
You know, that's in the garage. And then you saw a picture of the tool room. Over the years, you know, being a craftsman and starting at an early age, you know, it's afforded me to have a 45-foot by 12-foot by 9-foot tool room. And it's all 4 walls, ceilings, everything. You can see all the spray guns.
Yeah.
I'm certified with several paint companies. I teach painting and stuff like that. Retired business consultant in the auto body field. So I can make pretty much anything. The things you see on TV, I have it all. Between English wheels, planishing hammers, everything.
And you've been very fortunate, and that's what passion is all about. You've gotten to kind of have some you know, hobnobbing and kind of hanging out with some pretty big people over there. And there's our favorite Boston guy, Mr. Jay Leno. Now, where was this at?
This was down at the Concourse d'Elegance down in Newport, and one of my other hobbies is photography. As you can see, I'm wearing a media pass down there, and John Buchanan and I went down there to photograph the Concourse d'Elegance. It's a whole different type of people down there, but it was still part of the car culture. And what John and I brought back was the culture that the everyday doesn't get to see. It's more like Pebble Beach. And, you know, where can you go see 5, 6 Bugattis in a row, 3 antique Bugattis? You know, the cars got flown over from Sweden. There was cars from all over the world there.
Yeah.
And John and I are lucky enough to photograph at Barrett Jackson and shows like this to bring it back to that stuff.
And, of course, you got the gentleman, Wayne, who has his own...
Wayne Carini?
Yes.
Yes, no, he was there. Wayne Carini was there. He was a judge. He didn't mingle as much because he was a judge. They had 32 different judges down there.
Sure. Let me ask you a question. Europe, we're fascinated with European vehicles, but there's a thing for the classic vehicles that were American-made in Europe, too. Like, I have a Mustang.
Right now, the hottest thing over in Europe in the classic industry is American cars. They're getting big money. You go over to the car shows over in Sweden, Europe, Britain, they have a whole culture that's just American cars. Same thing with Cuba, all American cars. You know what I mean? It is a culture into itself. I'm working on a car right now that somebody picked up. It's a Mercer, and it was a It was a European car, and they just did a thing on Wheeler Dealers on the Mercer and how much value that had back over in Europe.
What's your favorite song to listen to when you cruise?
Me, Born to Be Wild.
Get your motor running.
Yeah.
Steppenwolf.
Yeah, we always take my car because it's never been beat.
This guy, the hipster.
Yeah.
How do people find out about your business? You have a website?
I really don't advertise. It's word of mouth.
These car guys.
You know what I mean? I've got,
it's a cult. It's a tight-knit group.
It is a cult. Most people know me. SJM Distributors. You know, that was a website and my email address, stuff like that. But most of the stuff, I've got 8-month waiting list, 9-month waiting list, and we fit people in. Like there's a guy come in the other day, went to a show. He's got a 32 Ford. His hood doesn't flip open like the couple he saw like mine. So all of a sudden he shows up and he goes, I don't care what it takes. Here it is. I want my hood to flip open.
Well, I got to tell you, you really have a nice life for yourself. I met your beautiful wife.
Yeah.
And is it okay to say that she's a classic?
No.
She's beautiful. Very nice woman.
Yeah, she is. I wouldn't call her a classic.
Classic is the best.
Well, she's very
vintage,
classy. Not vintage. No.
I know people who say that.
You're trying to get me in trouble.
No. That's a compliment. 100%. Your work is beautiful, and you know, when the weather gets nice, maybe we can do something else. Go for a cruise.
I'd have no problem bringing any cars by.
Bring some of the cars by.
Yeah.
Hey, it's our friend Steve Mirabile on Late Night New England. Keep those windows down and that music turned up. Born to be Wild with more Late Night New England coming up. Welcome back to Late Night New England. What a great show we're having. In keeping with the car theme, we love cartoons, we love cars, we love animation. Let's say hello to our friends, Axel and Rod.
Hey, hey, hey. Hi, folks. This is Axel.
And this is Rod.
You know, buddy, there's nothing I like more than a day at the track.
Yeah, buddy. Woo-wee. Well, let's go racing. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, buddy.
Woo-wee.
We're going racing every day. It's off to the track, it's time to play. Out with the tools up under the hood. Put the pedal to the metal now, it's all good. Racing around they go. Red means stop and green means go. There's burning rubber and a smashing glass. You cut me off, hey, kiss my... Racing every day. No more work, it's time to play. Out with the tools up under the hood. Put the pedal to the metal now, it's all good. Racing around they go. Red means stop and green means go. There's burning rubber and a smashing glass. You cut me off, now kiss my... Yeah, buddy. Day at the track. Life is good.
Yeah, buddy. Let's go.
Hey, boy. My tummy is rumbling something awful. Tonight, I'm fixing to have me a 7-course meal.
You gonna have a 7-course meal?
Yeah, a 6-pack and a hot dog. Buddy, I'm fixing to join me a gym. Get my body in shape. Become a ladies' man.
You gonna get in shape?
Yep.
Good, because your buns of steel have got butter smeared all over them.
Heck, I'm hungry, buddy. Let's eat. Hey. Hello, buddy. Do y'all know how long it takes for one of them big city folks to change a flat tire?
No. How long does it take for a hotshot big city folk to change a flat tire?
Who cares?
Oh, wait, buddy. You know they say the average race fan watches NASCAR at least 4 times a week.
4 times a week?
Yeah. Woo-wee. For the first time in my life, I'm above average. Woo-wee. Come on, Daddy. Raise the barn roof.
You crazy.
And get piggy with it.
You ain't all there, boy. Well, buddy. I'm sad and depressed. 'Cause I'm broke. I'm broker than a nose at a McCoy's and a Hatfield's family reunion.
Well, buddy, your ship has just come in. 'Cause your brother Rod hit the lottery. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
I got all kinds of money now.
How'd you do that?
I paid my Visa off with my MasterCard.
Oh, hey, you shook. You ain't right.
Well. When you're traveling on the road of life, it always seems to be under construction. We'll see you all again soon.
That was fun. We're sure you didn't learn a whole lot about cars, but we hope you laughed a little bit. Do you have animation? Would you like to be featured on Late Night New England? Well, all you have to do is send it to info@latenightnewengland.com. Woo-wee. It's wicked good TV.
4 out of 5 people like Late Night New England. That 5th person is a hater.
That's a wrap on this chicken pot pie program. My name is Michael Pettit. We hope you will join us once again. Special thank you to Mr. John Parata from the Comedy Factory, the car enthusiast, Mr. Steve Mirabile, and of course, you at home. We hope you'll join us here again, folks. I'm Michael Pettit. It's Wicked Good TV.
I'm not too familiar with all these apps, so I go on my computer, I go on Grindr. So I go on Grindr. All I wanted was a small tuna with provolone. 3 guys showed up in their underwear.
What's your favorite song to listen to when you cruise?
Me, Born to be Wild.
Get your motor running.
Yeah.
Steppenwolf.
Yeah, we always take my car because it's never been beat.
This guy, the hipster.